This video assumes you have the optional Modbus TCP card installed with the current firmware. Check out this video if you need help with that. Parameter 944 tells you if a Modbus TCP card is installed. With that COM card installed, you can now control the drive via Modbus TCP, RS-45 with either Modbus RTU or BACnet, that's controlled by parameter 986, the terminal strip on the drive, or the keypad. You select how you want to control the drive remotely using parameters 3.0 and 4.0. For our Modbus TCP demo, we want parameter 3.0 to control the run, stop, and direction via the Modbus TCP COM card. And I'm going to choose the option that leaves the keypad stop active so I can stop the drive locally even if it's being controlled remotely. And we want parameter 4.0 to control the frequency via the COM card. Great! So now when the remote button is pressed and we see the remote icon in the display, the drive is ready to accept commands from the Modbus TCP COM card. All we have to do now is configure it to work with our network. I have a little test network set up here in my office that uses this IP configuration. These are the parameters that we need to configure the GS drive's IP addressing. So I'll set the IP address to this, mask to this, and gateway to this. So it'll be compatible with my network. Remember, your network will probably be different, so don't assume these values will work for you. If you're uncomfortable with network configuration, then ask your network person for help. They'll know what numbers to put in here. The GS4 drive can automatically assign its own IP address using DHCP. But then you have no control over what that will be or how to figure out what it is. So we strongly recommend leaving it set to a static or fixed IP address. Now this is important. We just set all of these communication parameters in the drive. Those need to be copied out to the Modbus TCP COM card. You do that by going to parameter 964 and entering a 2. I'm going to use a generic Modbus polling routine I got off the internet called Modbus Poll to test the Modbus TCP communications to the drive. Let's bring that up and establish a connection to the Modbus TCP card. We want to communicate via Modbus TCP, and we want to talk to the drive at this IP address we just set up a minute ago. The defaults are fine for these other items, so hit OK. If I look in the GS4 manual, I see that the basic drive parameters start at decimal address 1. That tells us the GS4 drive uses the Modbus +1 addressing convention. So when we create a new window, we need to be sure to check this box so Modbus Poll uses the same addressing. Let's see what's at Modbus address 1, and let's display the first 20 items. I'm going to label these so it's easier to see what they are. Well, look, we see the max output voltage is 230, the max rated amps, the base frequency, etc. If I change the rated amps on the keypad, sure enough, Modbus Poll sees the change. I can also change the parameter from Modbus Poll and see the results on the display. Great, we can read and write parameters. To control the drive, we use this table in Appendix B of the manual. Looks like the Modbus TCP commands start at address 8193, so let's change the address range to start at address 8193. And I'll go ahead and label a few of these so we know what they are. Let's change the drive's frequency, and we see that appear on the screen. And that table in Appendix B says if I put in 18 decimal at address 8193, the motor should run forward. Sure enough, the motor ramps up to speed and in the forward direction. Looks like we can reverse direction with a 34 decimal. We see the forward reverse light change color and the motor reverses direction. Looks like stop is a 1, so if we enter that, the motor ramps down and stops. Perfect. Well, that's all there is to it. Install the optional COM card, set the drive IP configuration to something that's compatible with your network, choose a static IP whenever possible, and copy those parameters from the drive parameters to the Modbus TCP COM card. And finally, to control the drive, remember to set parameters 3.0 and 4.0 to point to the COM card. Then you just use that Modbus TCP table in Appendix B to issue the commands. Click here to learn more about the GS4 drive. Click here to learn about Automation Direct's free support options, and click here to subscribe to Automation Direct's YouTube channel so you'll be notified when we publish new videos.